Hey there, saltwater anglers, and welcome to the Lower Chesapeake Bay Fishing Report, your local report, whether it's good, bad, or ugly. This podcast is part of the Great Days Outdoors Network, and each week we'll be talking to the local experts to learn ways that we can become better anglers and stewards of this fishery, whether you're out fishing in the ocean, the lower bay, or its tributaries. We also ask that every angler do their part in sustainable fishing practices, keeping this amazing fishery healthy and thriving for generations to come. Spring is here, and the water in the bite is warming up. So let us take a minute and hear who's bringing us this week's show, and then we're going to jump into the report and find out what's going on. Upgrade your waterfront with Killer Doc's premium dock furniture, built to last a lifetime in marine conditions. Crafted from marine-grade aluminum with a protective anti-corrosion coating, it's tough enough to handle the elements while providing unmatched comfort. Featuring sunbrella cushions with fast-drying, removable covers, our furniture stays securely in place, even in storms. Choose from cabanas, club chairs, love seats, tables, and more to create your perfect dockside retreat. Durability meets elegance at Killer Doc. Check out the full collection at killerdoc.com today. Hooked on fishing? Then you're part of the local community that Long Bay Point Bait and Tackle cares about serving and giving back to, providing you with the right selection for each season's target species. They're your one-stop shop to gear up with the best bait, tackle, and insider tips to catch your next trophy fish. You can fuel up right out front on the water and then chat with the crew inside for hot tips on where they're biting. So swing by today. Long Bay Point Bait and Tackle, where your fishing adventures start and finish with your trophy catch on their scales. Check it out. AFTCO has a gift for our listeners. They're now offering a camo sunglasses cleaner cloth with any purchase of AFTCO products. For cool mornings, I love my Reaper sweatshirt. And on those hot days, my Samurai sun shirt. You just can't beat the quality and performance. All you got to do to get your coupon code is text LCBFR to 779-345-2918 to get subscribed to our email list, and we'll send you the promo code via email. All right, guys, welcome to this week's show. I want to start off this week. We're right on the cusp of fishing season, and one of the things that's been cool to watch unfold in our locality here in the Lower Chesapeake Bay is the prolification of the one and only Shutterspeed and Miss Jenny Homestead. So, welcome back to the show, Jenny. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Doing well. How's your husband, Casey?
He's good. Been working a lot.
Yeah. I've seen you guys out a couple times. It's the new year of 2025. You guys have got it pretty dialed in now. The boat, the camera, the point of view that you've been doing too, which I think is really neat, where you can kind of see you getting the shot, which I think is really cool. But for those that are tuning in and hearing your voice for the first time, just give us the 30,000 foot view of like how was Shutter Speed born? What is Shutter Speed? And what can we expect maybe new this year?
Yeah, my husband and I, we love going fishing. I love fishing. And sometimes he wasn't always the best fisherman. So on those days I would get bored and I'd start taking pictures with my phone. And he was like, Jenny, these are really good photos. I don't know why you ever gave up photography. And it's just because I didn't really enjoy like doing like family portraits and things like that. So I kind of gave it up.
Yeah.
And then we were like, well, he bought me a camera one day and I was like, oh, this is so cool. So we took it out on the water. Um, and it was during the tuna season. And man, those pictures now I hate looking back at them because I'm like, they are not good photos. But I learned my camera more and all the settings that I needed. And I just started snapping photos of everybody out. So it in return has reduced my fishing time, but I enjoy it because I get to see everyone else catching fish and take their pictures, and it kind of creates a memory for them to have.
Yeah.
Um, and then like the other side of it is captains are always so busy with their guests and making sure that they're getting on the fish and that the mate is doing what they need to do and making sure everybody's staying safe, that they don't always get the best pictures.
Yeah.
And let's be honest, captains aren't the best with taking photos anyways. So me
Right.
being out there with the free ride-alongs is new this year. I mean, I technically did it last year, but I'm really asking for it this year.
Hmm.
It's free ride along. There's no like gimmick about it. I just ask that if you do want prints, that you just order them from me to support me that way. But I have
Yeah.
a day job, so it's not like I'm looking at it to take over um, like my income. It is just
Right.
strictly wanting to get out there, share the fishing community, try to get more people involved in it, um, and helping out the captains with some photos.
Yeah, and I think it's really special and cool because, you know, it's great to have like a couple of shots, but I can tell you so many times that I've looked back at my phone from, fishing trips and it's like, oh my gosh, like why didn't I put the net down or why did I have that in the background or man, what was I thinking holding that like that? You're able to grab those shots, those candid shots that are almost always from a good angle. The boats look great. You get great backgrounds. I mean, you're a photographer, so of course you're going to. And I've got some of your prints hanging in my house. They're beautiful. I think my favorite one is that shot you got last year during one of the tournaments it was kind of the Hampton background and the sailboats were there on the horizon. It was just such a cool, we were just getting up on plane and you just have the boat and us looking like all dialed in like we're looking for cobias and the sailboats in the background. It's a really special photo and memory for me. I was really happy to purchase it and frame it, and it looks great. And I've even gotten a couple of things like we did that collage together, which was super cool. Turned out amazing, and just capture some really cool memories that I look back on and are super fond of. So anyone listening, I mean, it's the real deal. You want to get these shots; they're awesome, and you're out there all the time. The free ride along. Tell us a little bit more about that. So you're actually going to go on the charter or on the trip with the crew, and are you fishing or are you just hanging out with the camera in your hand the whole time?
Typically I'm hanging out with the camera in my hand the whole time, but sometimes on New Year's Eve, I went out with Eric from Heads and Tails. And we went out tuna fishing and he had a group and they were like, "Hey, do you want to have a spin at reeling it in for a little bit?" I didn't last very long because of my strength, but
Those
I
tunas are
did
strong.
get, yeah, I did get a chance out reeling the tuna, so that was really cool.
That's awesome.
Havoc, Brandon from Havoc, he always lets me fish, even if he's got a group out there. He's really great. Trick Seed, Eric, they're all great captains, and they basically said that I can come anytime. So as long as they've got a spot, especially like Havoc, he always has a spot for me and Trip. And then Eric, pending his boat size and the amount of people he has, I can
Yeah.
hop on with him anytime too. So it's been really great.
Recently celebrating 100 years of history, Tohatsu is Japan's oldest outboard manufacturer, producing high-quality durable outboard motors since 1956. Tohatsu America Corporation is the U.S. and Canadian distributor of Tohatsu outboards, offering a full line of four-stroke motors ranging from 2.5 horsepower to 250 horsepower, and the recently introduced Alaris 6 kilowatt electric outboard. Tohatsu America is a recipient of the NMMA's Customer Satisfaction Index, or CSI, award for the seventh consecutive year. Tohatsu is uncompromising in its pursuit of outboard motors that are both durable and as light as possible. See it, hear it, feel the wind. Yeah, and I
Um,
would say anybody listening that's like gonna book a charter for like a special occasion or maybe a corporate event or something like that, where it's like, I mean, there's people that charter on a fairly regular basis, but then there's those people that are doing it for a special occasion. That would be, if you are booking the charter, might be an opportunity to reach out to your captain and say, "Hey, I'd love to have Jenny on board. Can we invite her because we want to really capture this? Like maybe it's a father-son reunion trip, or maybe it's a bachelor party, or whatever the case, or bachelorette party." Those would be another cool opportunity to get you on board. And I want to go back to what you said about Eric. That picture you took of that tuna with the contender logo, and I think that's one of the most iconic bluefin tuna photos I've seen. And I don't know why we haven't gotten contender to license it or pay us for it because I think it's $1 million photo.
I appreciate it. Maybe I should send it to them.
Yeah, with a watermark. Make sure the watermark's on
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
uh, and just to give people an idea, I forget what I paid. I just remember being really happy with it. But what's the typical price range? Like, how does it work if we go check out photos? Because you've got the whole gallery from even like last summer and events that you've done. I know you did tight lines for Tiny Fighters, which was awesome with Wingman Guide Services, Josh and his daughter Ava. But if folks are looking to buy photos, like what's the ballpark price range that we're typically looking at for these photos?
So the photos that I can print myself at home, I can print them up to 17 by 22, and those are $70.
Okay.
So it would be $70 and under.
Uh-huh.
I think I have as low as a $10 print. Um,
Nice.
yeah, so I'm not trying to like haggle anybody for, price pick for them to pay for get their boat or anything. I just helps cover my costs of the print, and all the paper and all the ink. But
Yeah. Well, that's a very, very good value considering that it's like, what are the odds that somebody that has a professional eye for photography and the equipment is also out on the bay? I mean, if I wanted to go arrange for something like that to happen, it would be hundreds and hundreds of dollars. So, great value there, for sure. And in terms of this upcoming year, we've got the free ride-alongs. What else is new? You guys got any plans for a bigger shutter speed boat, or are we sticking with what we got for now?
right now, we're sticking to what we've got. We definitely want a bigger one in the future. Right now, I have the luxury of being able to hop on with other folks. Actually, speaking of the tuna tournament this year, I'm going out with Flying Fish.
Oh,
Um,
awesome. With
on the
Jake
day
Captain
that,
Jake Bolts. Yeah,
yep.
awesome.
So I'm gonna go out with them, and then 1 year we'll upgrade, but we're not there yet. I think we want to get a couple of things. Um, at home, like pay off one of our vehicles
Right,
and
right.
then upgrade because we're limited by our parking space. That's why we had no tower on our boat because of the parking under the carport.
Got it.
And then so we'd have to get a slip. So we'd have that feed in there too. So
Got it. Very cool. Well, that'll be a really cool experience with Captain Jake and Jim. They just got that beautiful new boat. I am brain farting on the make and model of it, but it's beautiful. It's really well appointed. They've done a lot of work to get it ready for the season. It's absolutely stunning. So you picked a good boat to be on, and they know how to raise some tuna. So hopefully, you might get some pictures that end up being, associated with a winning fish. I can promise you this: I've got some trips coming up this year for Cobia. I think one of my good friends, Captain Austin McDonald, who's also a Virginia Beach police officer, him and a bunch of his SWAT buddies want to go out and catch some cobias. So that'd be a really cool, opportunity to get you out there and capture some of VB's finest, cranking on some cobias. I think that'd be kind of fun. But man, I'm just excited for the season. I don't know about you. I just have a good feeling that's going to be a great season of fishing ahead. It's already seemed like it started off hot.
yeah, I'm super excited. And that would be a great trip to go on. Austin, he was actually on the boat with us when I went tuna fishing with Eric.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so that'll be fun. And this season, I'm excited. My followers have just started like really skyrocketing lately. Um, I'm at almost 2,200 followers on Instagram, so that's
Wow.
exciting. Yeah,
Heck
I
yeah.
pretty much check it like every day to see where we're at. My husband, he's on there like, "Did you see who you got today?" And I'm like looking through, and then
Oh,
yeah.
that's awesome.
Whether you're hitting the sand with set rigs using the traditional scent strips for pompano or fishing the flats or marshes for speckled trout, redfish, and flounder, Fish Bites has something for you. They're family owned and operated in St. Augustine, Florida, and pride themselves on making reliably consistent fishing products for anglers of all ages around the world. Fish Bites bait and lures are made with pride in the Sunshine State, USA. Check out the full line of scented saltwater and freshwater baits at fishbites.com.
Well, I think you deserve all the followers in the world because, a lot of people do things in the fishing industry, and sometimes it's not necessarily a glamorous job. The guys working the tackle shops, the guys tying jigs, the guys in the hot sheds building rods. Some stuff is not as out in the limelight, so to speak. But and just like you, like it's a lot of work sitting up late, staring at a computer, making edits, studying how you can, adjust or configure the camera to get, even better quality or better shots or better textures, whatever it is you're going after. I mean, it's a lot of behind the scenes work that then results in these, really cool, epic moments. But, I think it's really special because all of us go, we're all hoping for that really cool, epic moment, in memory. That's why we fish is like, when's the next cool thing that's going to happen? And so getting it captured, professionally and having that memory is just so cool. Um, Hopefully we'll see you out here soon. I mean, we just need this little storm cell to pass through and for you to get off of travel so that we can go fishing.
I know. I'm going Friday with Eric and Saturday with Kraken. So,
Okay.
yep, I'm
Very
gonna go
cool.
out Friday and Saturday. And speaking of cameras, last weekend, literally out in the middle of the bay, I ordered another one. So
Uh-oh.
that
I
got
just
delivered yesterday.
I'm gonna pretend this is like a live radio show, and a kayaker just called in and asked if he can give a free ride along. Kidding. Um, well, I'm excited. We'll have some tournaments coming up soon, I'm sure, as well too. If folks are interested in following you or getting in touch with you for the sake of getting you on one of their trips to do a free ride along, what's the best way for them to contact you and Shutterspeed and get that arranged?
So they can see, hold on. I have a Shutterspeed phone number now.
Ooh.
And they can reach me on Instagram at Shutterspeed VA. And
Okay.
then for my phone number, it is also listed on there. I can't find it right this second. Oh, I found it. It is 757-536-7859. That is my phone number to room 24 Shutterspeed. So
Perfect. I was
if
hoping you were
it's
going to say it was like 757-445 flash.
well, fun fact, when I was growing up, my phone number, my for high school, middle school, my cell phone, was 570 Jenny. So
No way.
yeah, I wish I would have never got rid of that phone number, but I did.
Oh no. Well, live and learn. Well, folks, if you're listening and this is up your alley, which I think it's up most folks, please go follow her on Instagram. Set up a trip, get in touch with her. I'm sure her calendar is going to fill up quickly. So reach out early, reach out now. Jenny, thanks so much for being back on the show and catching up with us. We'll have to have you back on a couple more times this year and just catch up and hear some cool fish stories because you're going to get that cross section of variety going out with all these different charter guides. So I'm excited.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thanks so much for having me.
Absolutely. Folks, that's going to wrap up a cool conversation, catching up with Shutterspeed, one of a kind, capturing memories across the lower Chesapeake Bay. Y'all stick around for a word from our sponsors, and we'll be back with you real soon.
Planning your next saltwater adventure? Whether you're nearshore, coastal, or offshore, the right safety gear is just as essential as your tackle. A reliable life raft from survivalatsea.com keeps you prepared because weather changes fast and emergencies happen when you least expect them. Survivalatsea.com offers top-rated life rafts built for any adventure, from bay waters to the open ocean. Right now, get $50 off any new life raft with code GDO50 at checkout. Stay safe, stay prepared. Visit survivalatsea.com today and fish with confidence. Looking to protect your dock with materials built to last? Shoreline Plastics has you covered. As leaders in composite marine dock pilings and building materials, they engineer solutions that stand the test of time. Their EcoPile is the ultimate composite piling designed for longevity and eco-friendliness, ensuring your dock remains strong for years. And if you need a quick fix for worn pilings, try Snap Jacket, a durable solution that restores and extends their life. Visit shorelineplastics.com to discover how you can elevate your next marine project. Shoreline Plastics, where durability meets innovation.
All right, y'all, welcome to the show. We got a lot to talk about this week. There's been a lot going on. If you've been paying attention to the local news, I want to welcome back to the show. Good friend of the show, Captain Bill Pappas aboard Plain Hooky Charters. What are we up to this morning, Captain Bill? Welcome back to the show.
Welcome aboard Playing Hooky Charters, man. Not doing good. How are you doing, buddy?
Doing good. It's a little overcast. You know, we had that little spit of nice weather, and everybody got out there and ran south and chased some cobias, ran around the bay, chased some reds. You got offshore and did some deep dropping and had a lot of success. You've been a busy man. Tell us about one of your recent trips, man. Give us a little fishing report, a little fishing story.
Oh, was that the one we had recently? Was the one guy showed up? Was that the one? I think it was. We had a walk-on that we announced a last-minute trip, and it's hard to fill those last-minute trips, and we understand that. And we're about 99% out of 300 trips, walk-on trips over the years that we've run. We run about 98 to 99% of those trips. Weather twice has got us where we had to cancel. The weather, we just canceled for weather before we went. And other than that, when one person books or something, we usually go anyway. But this trip, we ended up going with just one person. So we took the one person with us, and we felt like fishing too. Russ and I, he likes to feed his mom, so go home and give her a fish and feed himself. And I love making some of my special recipes. It's kind of cool, and I'm sure Everybody's done it, man. It's not being cocky, it's just being like, hey, he's being optimistic. But I point at the ocean and be like, hey, I'm going to get some, coconut tog nugs. I'm gonna go get some tog nuggets. I picture what I want to eat. Or I look and be like, oh, we're gonna get mahi tacos, and you point at the water like Babe Ruth, like you're gonna go out there and hit that home run right there. And for me, it will for me, and I'm serious. For me, it's like I point at the water. I'm like, I want to go get some rosefish parmesan, and it's gonna go in the cookbook in 2020 still. But yeah, I want to get I wanted to get some rosefish pretty bad, and I knew the charter. Of course, they're gonna want some giant goldens and some blue and some some exotic fish like that. So we went out there, and the bite was slow, some sharks mixed in. Finally found out where I wanted to be and got there, got a few good stringers full of fish where we could move on. And then the golden tilefish bit real well. It was about 5 or 6 drifts, and the first 4 drifts produced 5 fish. And the sharks were there. They weren't as bad as usual. And it was, it was a fun time. Wasn't a lot of boats either, not a lot of pressure. And so that's how that went. That's how that went. It was a good time. We had a great time, came back with a lot of fish, and I got to make exactly what I wanted for myself. And then I just made it last night for my son and daughter who got back from college together at the same time. And we just made that chicken pretty much like a chicken parmesan, but it's a rosefish parmesan.
Yeah.
And so we had 4 of us there. We had 3 of us and 4 of us there counting Joel and everything, her boyfriend.
That sounds really good. I love watching your stories after, like, post trip, when you're actually in the kitchen cooking, because you always throw something together that just looks divine, and it's always around dinner time too. It kills me. But walk me back. So I know you guys have recently picked up Daiwa as a sponsor, and for those golden tiles, are you using those? Talk me through the reel that you use, because it's electric, right?
Yeah, that's right. For the electric. Oh, you know what else happened on that trip? That was the trip. I'll give you a quick little story too. Is that I did catch a golden tilefish on a squid trex lure. I happened to it was just 3 of us out there, and I don't get to fish much because I'm always driving the boat up top. But the conditions were so calm and so beautiful that day. That's another reason we had to go. But that I went downstairs and I fished. Ran back and forth and did the throttle and stuff. But I got to drop a squid trex down and jig, and I kept picking the squid trex up on there. And I did tip it with a piece of bluefish. and sure enough, whammo, I got like a 23-pounder, 22-pound golden tile on the jig. It was cool,
That's
man.
amazing.
I enjoyed it. Yeah. And
Have you ever had a charter or anybody on your boat catch a golden tile on a jig like that, or was that a first?
Well, to be honest, let's be honest here. This is another tip for other boaters, man. You can't have people jigging and people electric fishing at the same time. Now you can on perfect days, but you have to see a lot of days and know what a good day looks like. And if you've got your mindset and I'm gonna jig today, yeah, and you get out there and there's some wind and some blow and some chop, and you got people dropping and the lines are coming out fast with the wrong sinkers on, and there's a lot that goes into it. So you can, but you can't, and you can figure it out the hard way. But it's recommended if you're gonna jig, everybody jig. It throws off the bite. If you want to bait fish, you bait fish. It's a couple ways of doing it, but when it comes to that.
I remember last year us talking about this, and I remember you sharing that tip then too, which is that, and just kind of go into a little bit more detail. So, like, why is it that it's not advisable to jig fish right next to bait fishing on electric? What's the real issue there that we run into?
Well, let's use sea bass for an example. Sea bass, you might get away if we're the frisky enough school to do both. Okay, you could. But then again, when they're more fickle and they're only biting the jig, then you're going to take away all the bait guys' opportunities because they're looking for something moving. Now, if you have a bait rig sitting down there by itself, all bait rigs, which is we like to run on the charters, is you get a consistent bite. You work a bite up. The fish will start biting, and then they're competitive feeders. So once you get one fish hooked, he'll start flapping his tail around, and other fish are like, hey, what's going on over there? What's Timmy doing? And they come over there and be like, oh, he's got squid. And they start eating more and more. They bring each other over by doing that. Now, if you have a jig, they're all going to chase the jig. They're going to get a bite here and there. And truth be told, you will catch, sea bass being the example, you'll catch keepers on the jig where you'll barely get a fish smaller than a 13-inch fish because it's going to take a larger fish to chase down a fish that he thinks he can swallow and hold in his mouth and digest. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's how it really comes down to with that. And just the same for other species. You start, and when you're deep dropping for those species that we're talking about with the golden and stuff, you're talking 700, 800, 1,000 feet of water. And plus, if you're not up and down in 1,000 feet of water, just put yourself 50 or 60 feet away. That's another 70 or 80 feet of line at that angle and this and that. It's not, you know what I mean? There's a lot more that goes into just having that out. So when you have that out and you're jigging up and down, you're pulling it out of the water column, that jig starts to swim and gets caught up in the bait rigs that are stationary. It's chaos. I mean, you can,
Yeah.
if you have a mate on the boat and you're mad at them, just go ahead and let them jig and bait fish at the same time.
Oh, that sounds like something Russ does
Man,
not want to.
you know,
That's too funny. That sounds like something Russ does not want to hear.
and if you want to put a catch down on the dock and you've got a certain amount of time to do it, we have to do it a certain way.
Sam Rust Seafood, your locally trusted source for premium wholesale seafood. Servicing customers from Hampton Roads down through the Outer Banks, Richmond, and surrounding areas, including Fredericksburg, Charlottesville, and Lynchburg, for over 80 years. Committed to the highest standards in the industry, Sam Rust distributes the best of the ocean directly to your restaurant, hotel, or grocery store on time and at a great price. Visit samrust.com to discover how quality, tradition, and sustainability come together. So don't cuss, call Sam Rust.
You were saying if you want to have a touchdown on the dock, it's really critical that that you just stick to one or the other. Otherwise, it's just going to be mayhem and really not make your mate very happy.
And you got it. It's a free country. Do what you want to do. But you know, I'm not an I told you so or do what I do. I'm just telling you sometimes here's what I do and here's why I do it. And if it makes sense and you want to try it, that's on you. Give it a go, man. Ain't that cool?
Yeah. And for getting located on those rosies and the golden tile, talk to us a little bit about, the bottom feature you're looking for on your depth finder. Like what key, water temperature, depth, bottom features, like what are we looking for to get located on golden tile to even have a fighting chance to get a bite?
Well, the first thing you got to do is be a snake. You got to have radar and poach people's spots and then know what they caught and then go back and fish their spots. Oh, wait a minute. That's what happens to us. My bad. My fault. My fault. That's their catch next trip. Oh, what do you know? We're the guys. And yeah, what do you know? And you know who's out there with you that trip and was out there, then the next trip you're not out there. The next thing you know, you're like, oh, what do you know? What do
There
you
they
know?
are.
So what do you know? So that's all you got to do, really. Just have a boat and get out there and have a card and a chip. And anyway, now there's other ways, man. You know what you got to do is you really have to see, you really got to see the bottom and you got to be trolling out there and already fishing out there in your home anyway. For example, you want to be out there in certain depths. You can read on it. You can Google it. You can do a lot of things, but you know what you need to do mainly? Try, just go and do it and try. I mean, I found my first spot ever blue line fishing on a day that I told myself I'd never stop and deep drop because the fog was so bad. We were trying to troll for tuna and it was late and it was December or something or January. It was just whatever. So I was like, I'm going to stop. And I hit all sharks in the first drop and I was discouraged, man. And then the next spot I went to was nothing but chopper blues, man. Like we're talking 36-inch giant bluefish everywhere. I was like, this is cool and all, but this ain't what we're coming for either.
Right.
And then I rolled up on a ledge and was like, let's drop in this deep. And it was honestly, we had hand cranking rods and it was as far as I could crank. So I was like, this is as far as we're dropping. Let's drop them. And you know what? You do a drift, you hold the boat there and you give it a try. Next thing you know, you got a few spots. Then you got something you can get some meat for. Now, if you're getting meat and you can come back and it's worth the trip, then you got an opening for more stuff for next trip. You do get your meat, you go to another spot, trying to up dud. The other day, I've got all these spots and people might think. And the other day I tried a new spot. I was like, let me try this spot right here. Cause you do that when you have tailwinds, when you're doing pretty good on the trip. We felt really good. We still had some time on the clock. And I was like, let's try a new spot. And got skunkade, nothing.
But like
nothing there.
to your point though, I mean, you had to deal with getting skunked, putting the time in, but like on the machine itself, like when you're in a good golden tile spot, what does my bottom look like? Is it rocky? Is it muddy? Like what's the ideal consistency for golden tile on the bottom?
All right. Well, it's gonna be. I'll tell you, it's gonna be muddy for sure. Because you got to picture these things are sitting in these little mud caves, and they got on the top of their head. They got this little teaser out. I'll show you in a picture, but it's easier to see. But there's this teaser that jiggles like up there, and then when the fish come by and they see that thing jiggling, they jump out and just murder them.
Oh, interesting. That's like a don't monkfish do something similar as well, I think.
Yeah, the stargazer zaps you. There's a bunch of fish that tease you up and then zap you or do something to you. But yeah, if you could look it up, I'm sure, and see it there.
Yeah.
These fish are real smart, and they get that teaser out there and whammy. So when you're pulling one, so here's a good tip to remember: is when you're getting a golden bite and you think you're golden area, and you're fishing too deep and you're thinking you're in the mud, go ahead and set that hook really hard. If you think you're stuck on the bottom, you got a golden. He's stuck in his hole, and sometimes you got to wait there for a second for him to slowly, and he'll come out of the hole, and then you're out. Then you're fighting again. You're like, yeah, this is nuts. It's that intense, man. When you get a big one on there, and they're like
Oh,
a
I
freight
bet.
train, man. I thought my first one. I thought my first one ever on a TLD 50 2-speed on a with a fighting belt on my knee, across my knee over the side. And it was a 37 pounder, man. I was cussing and screaming at him. I got you, buddy. I put him in first gear after the first few cranks were all in second to rip him above the bottom. Then I just put him in first and just worked him. And then
Worked him
he
out.
blew up. Yeah, then he blew up at the top and exploded. And then, man, I screamed pretty loud. I probably lost my voice on that one. I love losing my voice on a
Well,
on
yeah,
a,
and you
on a
got to
good.
fight it. You got to
Yeah,
fight it
we
up through
got.
that whole water
Yeah, we
column. I mean, it's a long fight from a deep depth, and it's like dragging a piece of plywood off the bottom of the ocean.
Yeah, I haven't fought another one since. I've used electric every single fish you've ever seen me hold. I haven't, man. That was it. One time only. Thank you. That was
So,
fun.
so
That was
talk
real.
us through your Daiwa electric reel setup. What's the ideal setup for your Goldens?
All right, so that's another thing I wanted to add to the conversation. I didn't get back to Facebook and mention is that they're asking me about if these Daiwa reels, because we just got a sponsorship from Daiwa, and it's really good for us, and it's really good for them too, because we'll help them out. We don't mind working and showing what we can do with their stuff. And as a
Yeah.
matter of fact, like you're saying, we've already used their stuff for years. I've used a 750, and I've had a 14-foot hammerhead come up to the top, probably a 350 pounder with a squee with a 750. I've had the 1,000. We've had 12-foot hammerheads with that. We've had some large. I'm talking. What else have we caught? You can catch some incredibly sized fish with these electric reels, and so you just know once you catch something that big with it, and it handles that big of it, and you didn't know obviously when you're reeling up at first, you don't know it's that big. You think you're breaking the golden tilefish record with an 80 pounder, and instead it's like a whoa my god shark, and you're like, all right, what do we do now? So that being said, I've seen the strength of these Daiwa reels, and now they don't burn up and smoke, but they did make a new style where the motor's not on the outside, the motor's actually on the inside of the reel. So now these motors on the inside of the reel, it seems like you would get less spool, but you don't. And we've actually used them for swordfish. So
Oh, wow.
remember that angle I was telling you about down below? We used the 1200. We've caught swords on the 800. And these are less expensive versions of the $5,000 hookers and the Beastmasters and all these, that you see that everybody's, with more bona fide, more well established, or more well funded.
Well funded.
Yeah, well funded individuals can have nicer stuff, you would think, but you can catch it with smaller stuff. Because if you're not fishing every day and all the time, or for a charter, why would you want to invest that much money into something? If you don't have it, you're working hard as you can to support a family to begin with. You put a 800 on there, you can catch them. You better stay close to it. You put a 1200 on there, you're in there. 1200's got 2,200 feet of line, 2,300 feet of line, braided 80 pound.
Wow.
You can get on there, and that gives you like even an 1,100 to 1,200 feet with a lot of current. That's your limit right there. That's as far as you're gonna go. 1,300 feet, 1,400 with a lot of current. But that it's just there's a limit to it with the angles and stuff. But we love those rods, and we also get to use their BGs and all their spinning gear. We get to go through, and so we're gonna be selling all our old gear, I guess, making a good discount on that.
It's time we talked about catching some serious savings. Imagine harnessing the power of the sun to cut your energy bills and having a roof that's built to last. Convert Solar and Roofing specializes in top-notch solar installations and durable roofing solutions that stand up to the toughest elements. Their solar panels are designed to maximize efficiency, and their roofs are built with premium materials to ensure long-lasting protection. Whether you're out on the water or at home, their expert team ensures you're covered. As fellow anglers in the Lower Chesapeake Bay, the team at Convert Solar and Roofing cares about both sustainable living and sustainable fishing. So reel in those savings today and visit www.convert-solar.com or call 757-44-SOLAR. Make your energy and roof as reliable as your favorite fishing lure. Call Convert Solar and Roofing today.
Sorry again, folks, having a little bit of LTE issues, but for those that are wanting to get on board playing hooky and get on a walk on or book you for a dedicated trip, I know you got lots of stuff coming up in terms of the variety of things you guys can go after, from inshore reds and cobia to wreck trips, go chase some tunas. What's the best way for folks to contact you and get booked on playing hooky?
Well, you can go to playinhookeycharters.com. That's PLAYINHOOKEY charters.com. You can also put a slash on that and put the walk-ons, put a dash and then put ons, and that'll take you to the walk-on service where you can get signed up for the walk-on text, the PHC walk-on text that come out once a week. And you can look on Facebook, Instagram, and we just got on TikTok.
Hey.
So we're on TikTok. We're on TikTok as well.
Nice, man. Well, Captain Bill, I always appreciate, our conversations. I always learn something. You're always so gracious and sharing, a little bit of wisdom, not giving us the whole recipe, but, getting us started so we can put our thinking caps on and give it a try ourselves. So appreciate that as well.
You got it.
And again, thank you for your passion about the stuff going on in our city. It's important that we, attend to those things because it affects all of us. So we'll look forward to talking with you in the future, man.
Yeah, man. Thanks a lot, man. God bless America.
Yep, you too, man. All right, folks,
All right,
that's going to wrap up a cool segment. Learn a little bit about the golden tile, Daiwa reels, and boat license fees. So y'all stick around for a word from our sponsors, and we'll be back with you soon.
Tired of battling salt corrosion on your boat, trailer, and reels? Meet Salt's Gone, your ultimate solution. This powerful, instantly acting chelating agent tackles salt and brine with ease, featuring corrosion inhibitors to protect against future damage and surfactants for a thorough clean. Salt's Gone is pH neutral, making it safe for all boat materials: metal, glass, paint, vinyl wraps, and more. Highly concentrated, just 1 gallon creates 100 gallons of ready-to-use solution. Apply it with or without running water. It's perfect for any situation. Use code GREATDAYS10 to save 10% at saltsgone.com. Or if you need faster delivery, use Amazon or your favorite retailer. Would your insurance cover an air ambulance in a medical emergency? The fact is, insurance doesn't cover the full cost of medical flights, leaving you and your loved ones at financial risk. But with an Air Medcare network membership, you can focus on recovery, not on finances, should the unexpected happen. They take care of everything, with no costs for flights, only when flown by one of their providers. Membership covers your full household and starts at $99 a year. Visit gdo.deals/airmedcare to enroll. All right, y'all, that's going to wrap it up this week. Please subscribe, rate, and review wherever you listen to podcasts. And remember, to get your free AFCO Camo Sunglasses Cleaner Cloth, text the acronym LCBFR to 779-345-2918 to get your promo code and be added to our email list so we can send you the new show each week. You guys keep on whacking them and be safe out there.